from the Fox 10 Gulfstream, this is Next Weather.
Well, hey folks, thank you so much for joining us here on the Fox 10 Gulfstream. The TSA says holiday travel period kicks off tomorrow with one of its busiest days, and potentially a record-setting stretch could collide with winter weather. Karen Caifa has the details on how the federal government and airlines say they're prepared.
The majority of Americans will drive to their holiday destinations, but airlines will really be in the spotlight, especially if winter weather enters the mix. The TSA says they expect numbers to surpass last year's holiday season and says passengers should be prepared for a lot of company at the airports through New Year's. It's going to be a blockbuster holiday season in the skies, according to AAA.
The thing is, more people are going to be traveling now that they ever have.
With flights near or at capacity between now and New Year's, there's pressure for airlines to keep things moving.
When we see delays, whether it be from weather or just a technical delay in getting a flight out of the gate, it impacts the whole schedule for the day.
And Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg says weather disruptions could be on the radar.
We may see some bad weather impacting travel around Christmas and New Year's. FAA is working closely with airlines to plan for that possibility.
But Buttigieg says that 2023 has seen the lowest commercial flight cancellation rate in the last 5 years. And experts deem Thanksgiving, which saw some new holiday peaks for the TSA and airlines, a success.
Obviously, weather delays and cancellations are a very real thing this time of year. But I think in terms of what airlines can control, we've seen improvements, and Thanksgiving was proof of it.
Airlines indicating better preparation for the holiday rush.
We've seen in the last couple of years recovering from the pandemic, staffing shortages, training gaps, impacting not just airlines and airports, but the entire aviation industry. The good news heading into this holiday season is that an incredible amount of resilience has been added.
For the busy stretch between now and New Year's, the FAA has also opened some additional military airspace. And if airlines fall short on staffing and preparedness, there was a reminder just this week that there are consequences. On Monday, the Department of Transportation announced a record $140 million penalty against Southwest Airlines for last year's 10-day holiday meltdown that stranded more than 2 million travelers. In Washington, I'm Karen Caifa.
All right, for traveling around our area, it's going to be dicey on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day itself. That's when we're going to get the rain. So if you are traveling out of town, you're really going to want to kind of work your way around this system that's going to be coming on through, because a good chance rain Christmas Eve right on into Christmas Day here across the area. Let's go ahead and check that out on the modeling here. You can see the heavy rain that's going to be on New Year's Eve on around noontime, starting to move in by the afternoon and getting heavier as we head to the evening. That's 6 o'clock on New Year's Eve. A lot of folks are headed out to church services, very likely could be dealing with some rain. Here's midnight. This is when, of course, the big guy's going to be flying around. I guess Rudolph is going to be making his money that night, because it is going to be some rough flying weather there for them that evening. And then as we head towards 6 a.m. Monday morning, Christmas morning, heavy rain and a few thunderstorms mixed in. Not anticipating anything severe at this point. We're not in a zone from the Storm Prediction Center, but we certainly could hear a few rumbles of thunder with the system, and that continues through about lunchtime on Monday. Then later in the evening, things will start to wind on down. How much rain are we talking about? Here it go once again. 2-3 inches, maybe even as much as 4 inches of rain is going to be possible with the system. So if you do have to do any traveling across our local area, try to do it before and after the holiday, and try to avoid Christmas Eve and Christmas Day if you can, because we're going to be dealing with some very rough weather. Thank you so much for joining us here on Fox 10's Next Weather.